wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to him. But when he asks, he must believe and not doubt, because he who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. Now I'm going to drop down to 12. That was 2, James 2, James 1, 2 through 6, and then 12. Blessed is the man who preserves under trial, because when he has stood the test, he will receive the crown of life that God has promised to those who love him. So it's very important for us to go through these trials and the things that God has allowed in our lives, that we need to persevere, go through it, and not allow the situation to defeat us.
That's right.
Because we are overcomers.
That's right. That we were made.
Yes.
Strength.
Yes.
Our minds, our bodies, and it's so important. But today we have our beautiful Dr.Pastor Sonya Privette. She is going to be, we're going to have a conversation on becoming an overcomer and overcoming obstacles. This is part 2. This is a continuation. She just read a scripture in the Bible, James, and she quoted from the Bible a vision that she had earlier in the week or today. So thank you very much, Sonya, for coming back on to the show, and so that we can continue to have our conversation on how to become an overcomer and overcoming our obstacles. Some of the things that we have done, because believe me, we have been through some hell. I can say that. We've been through that hellfire, okay? And mentally and physically. And so we want to be like an example for other people, because you do not have to stay down in the gutter or down in that hole. You don't have to stay there. God gave us a brain to make decisions. When they said God made us in his image and his likeness, I mean, this is real. So lay it on us, Sister Sonya.
Yes, we are overcomers. We are victorious. We can go on, and in spite of what we went through in the past, it's so important. Yes, and we can be an example to help somebody else. But it's an honor to be able to be here again on What is a Girl Supposed to Do? It's an honor. You know, what is a little girl supposed to do? I think that's what it is. So, you know, being here with Balinda and LaShonti in her absence at the time is so important for us to continue to be a trailblazer in the earth at this time. So if you looked at my the other episode, I believe it was episode 36, that talks about becoming an overcomer. I think at the end, I was reviewing it this morning, it was about a divorce that I faced, but there's so much more that I have been through in my life, and I want to talk about the signs, because God gives you signs.
Yes.
I remember before I got here, there were 3 sinkholes that appeared in front of my house. So one arose, and I had to get it fixed. And then here go another one, and then I had to get that one fixed. And then there was a third one, and then I had to get that fixed. Also, there were water running in the walls.
Ooh. Now, where did you live at that time?
I lived on Addison Street in Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia. Okay.
So if you look at this wall, it looks finished. It looks done. It was finished. But there were water when it would rain. It was running in the back of the wall.
Ooh.
So you can actually see the lines in the walls coming down. It was the whole entire wall. And then the paint was falling off the wall. Ooh. That was another sign. And then I remember another time where I came home and the electric was off and I paid the bill. That was another sign. And also I don't remember, I discussed this last time, but the siding of the house was falling. It was windy one day, and all the houses were intact except mine. So the siding was falling off in the front of the house. So those were signs the Lord telling me to go. That it's time to go now.
Yes.
And when I did everything He told me to do, He said, "Okay, now you see the signs." He sent someone in my life at the time because I didn't know. I was like, Lord, I can't even find an apartment over there in Portland because I've never been to Portland.
Yes.
And then one woman of God told me, won't you get an Airbnb? And that's what I did. So I purchased the Airbnb. And then after that, I hired a auto transporter for my Jeep. And then I got the plane ticket, and then I had to sell my house. After the house was sold, then I had one more week to get out the house in order to fly to Portland. So when I did all that, God gave me a plan after the fact. After I said yes. And then, let me see, after that, I got on the plane and God says, I am with you.
Beautiful.
He says, I am with you.
Beautiful.
I was crying and all that because I was alone. I was by myself.
Man.
But I had to take 2 planes. When I got to San Francisco, California, the second plane, they canceled the flight.
Ooh. Okay.
So they had to reschedule me for another plane, and I had to sit in the airport for hours. But I still made it. I still made it here.
That's good.
Another obstacle I want to talk about is while I was going through the divorce process, people had walked away from me. People that I had relationships with. I had relationships with a lot of clergy on that side.
So why do you think they walked away?
It's always about somebody that you know. I believe that things were spoken against me because of my process. A lot of people didn't believe me. They didn't believe that the Lord called me here or God spoke to me and told me to come. So people that I have helped ordain, that I thought that I've been knowing for years, actually walked away in that time. And the Lord told me at that time, He said, I'm taking you to the next level. I didn't know what that meant. I said, what you mean? He said, I want these people out of your life, and I'm taking you to the next level. You'll find out when you get over there to Portland. And that's what happened. So I lost a lot of relationships.
Yes.
Sometimes in your journey, you lose people along the way.
And there's a reason why.
There's a reason
because
why.
we don't know. Because we thinking that these people is ace, coon, boon, 100% in our corner. But God knows. God knows who He need to move out of your way. Because He got other things for you to do. So I know people are removed from our life, our company, and there's a reason. We may not know when it's going on, but God knows.
Yeah.
So, yes, beautiful, beautiful.
Yes, that's a hard thing to swallow.
Yes.
Especially if you have relationships with people for years and you thought that they was going to be in your life forever, and it don't turn out that way. And God removed those people for whatever reason, because He knows people's hearts.
Yes.
He knows what they thinking.
That's right.
He knows what's in their mind. He knows what's in their heart. He just knows everything.
That's right.
And He know they wasn't good for me.
That's right. That's right. And I'm so thankful that we listen and we pay attention, because God is not going to leave us alone. But we need to be open to the things that He's guiding us to and leading us to. We need to be open, have an open mind. We need to know when He's speaking to us, and we need to follow the instructions.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. That is so true.
Man.
we have to. It's part of the process.
Yes.
It's part of the process. The Lord has blessed me so much since I've been here. So many blessings. He have given me a hair stylist. I remember in the first 3 months I was worried about my hair. I said, Lord, I don't even have hairstyle. I don't even know where to go. But he led me to a hairstylist, and she's been doing my hair for almost 3 years.
Beautiful.
Because it'll be 3 years in March of this year.
Wow.
And then along the way, I've met new people, new friends.
Yes.
New family members.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful.
And me being able to minister to other people.
Beautiful.
He's blessed me financially. He's given me a job.
Beautiful.
He's given me an apartment within 3 months.
Beautiful.
And he kept me on track. I literally had to trust him in the process.
Yes, you're right.
It's so good. It's wonderful. I've watched people and their visions, how their visions has came to pass. And some of the people here, how the Lord uses me with them, they had the visions for a long time.
Beautiful.
But I had to arrive.
Yes.
And some of the people now are published authors now.
Beautiful.
It is so awesome.
Yes.
And I'm working on one aspiring author right now.
Beautiful.
That was her vision. Before she passed,
Man.
she wants a book manifested in her life. So I know that this is the right place. This is the journey that God has me on, and I had to just follow his plan.
Yes.
It was about me following his plan, me doing all what he have told me to do, regardless of what I'm going to say it. The naysayers say.
Yes. Man.
Regardless of what the people said in my past. Of why God didn't speak to me, but God has spoken to me.
That's right. And check this out. When you told me you decided, you heard the voice, and you moved out here, it could have been any other month of the year, but you moved out here in March. When a person march, that's when you said March, I'm like, whoa. When you're marching, even in the military, you marching, you doing your instructions, but you're marching, you're moving, you're doing things, you're marching. And so, that just gave me the insight. That's why March. Think about when a person march. That is when you got here in March. Man.
Ain't that so? I didn't know that. You had to give me the revelation.
Yes. I mean, yes.
You had to give me that revelation.
Man,
I didn't put that together.
Yes. When you said March, I'm like, whoa. When you marching, you doing some things.
Yes.
Man.
Yes.
Wow.
It was rough.
Ooh.
Lord knows it was rough, but I made it here. And this March, I'm excited. I call it my 3-year anniversary.
Beautiful. Wow.
I survived.
Yes.
I made it through. And the thing God brought me in the midst of the COVID. It was the beginning of the COVID.
Man.
So I had to trust him in the beginning of the COVID that I could make it to this side safely.
Yes.
And that everything will move swiftly. It's funny because it was unknown at that time when I got here. I was in an Airbnb for 3 months. And then within the 3rd month, the Lord gave me an apartment in the midst of the COVID.
Man.
In the midst of the COVID.
Wow.
So that's amazing.
Yes, you're right.
So he didn't stop.
Man.
He kept going. And it's just, I've been rolling ever since.
Beautiful.
I've been rolling ever since.
Beautiful.
I mean, I have a job, and it's amazing. God has supplied all my needs.
Beautiful.
And he just keep going in spite of.
Man.
So he's awesome. I give him the praise for everything
Beautiful.
that he has done. And yes, I miss my family on the other side.
Yes.
But this is where I live.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Yeah. God is good. God is good. Yes. So I just have a few questions. Since you've done the first podcast, and the reason why I'm asking is because I know that you said that you were living like an incognito for 2 years. People didn't know where you were and what you were doing until that podcast was released, right?
Yes.
So I would like to know how things has been with you since the last podcast, the communication, the feedback you've been getting from people. I mean, how are you feeling about this, and what are they saying?
Well, some people is actually shocked. They had no clue that I've been through all what I've been through. Conversations have started. And some people is actually getting help for their depression.
Beautiful.
It has opened up so many things.
Yeah.
I had to tell my story because you never know when you tell your story,
Yes.
how it's going to impact somebody else.
You're right.
And I see that a lot of people, I see it's 156 people.
Man.
I said, I didn't even know these people like me. But it's so good. It's refreshing for me. And then being able to touch other people's lives.
Yes.
I did not know that growing up and going through this, that all you got to do is share your story.
Yes.
That it actually will motivate and help
Man.
heal and
Yes.
help deliver somebody from their stuff.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Man.
Because that's what
Yes.
we do. We hold our stuff
Yes,
in.
you're right.
We
You're
hold it
right.
in. We don't want to
Yes.
release it.
You're right.
Because
Yes.
we care about what other people think
Yes.
instead of caring about ourselves, for one. And it is going to help somebody
Yes,
else.
you're right. You're right.
So it
Yeah.
has opened up so many avenues, and I don't know where it's going to take me.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
It got me here with y'all.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. And you know what? I would like to share my little bit of my little testimony. Not little, but I dealt with a lot of mental illness.
Yes.
And it went on for like 10 years altogether. I was in and out of mental hospitals, so forth and so on. But in the meantime, since 1989, God was on me. He was on me. He was telling me, Balinda, how many people have to die before you say something? Because you know about the mental illness. You've been down that road. You know what it does to people. But you became an overcomer. You asked me to heal you, to give you your mind back. I prayed to God every day. I was like, God, I cannot do this. I can't do this. I said, I would rather be dead than to continue on doing what I'm doing with this mental illness, this mind. It will drive you crazy where you want to kill yourself. You want to run away. But God said, Balinda, I got you. He said, you're not going through this for nothing. I want you to be a testimony for others.
Yes.
You understand what they need. That's why you're here. That's why you become an overcomer. Because my test, all of us have a test.
That's right.
We have a test in this life. Nothing is easy. God wants to know, are you strong? Are you strong enough to be part of his army? His army of people that love God and they know what it takes to be part of God's family. We know we just can't sit around and look and wait for other people to take charge. God gave each one of us a brain and he gave us a body to be able to function. And so that was my and my daughter, our turning grace, because God said, how many people is going to have to die before you get up and say something.
That's right.
He said, because you didn't go through all that you went through just to sit back on the sidelines and look and do nothing. So for each and every one of us, if we've gone through a test and we have a testimony, the only way other people's going to know that God is real and he will help you out of the journey or the tunnel or the cave or whatever you're in, he will help you. He will be the guiding light when you're in that darkness. Yes. We just have to believe and have faith.
Yes.
And we have to be patient, because just because today we're asking God for something don't mean that you're going to get what you're asking for tomorrow. You have to have faith. And so that was my saving grace. And that's why my lovely sister is here with us on this journey to get this message out. There is a God. You have to believe and you have to have faith.
Yes.
And we're here. We just want to help. Yes.
That's so true. That's so true. We are overcome by our testimony.
Yes.
But we have to share our testimony to overcome it.
Yes.
If we hold it in, then we're not sharing it.
You're right.
And we don't know who is going to touch.
Yes.
We don't know how it's going to touch them. But if we do our part,
yes,
God will do the rest.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And so the only thing we have to do, the door is open. We just got to walk through there.
That's right.
We just got to take those steps to make it through. And fear is one of the worst things a person can have, is fear. When you have fear, then you can be overcome by so many things. And so I learned early on, fear no one. God said, the only one that you fear is me, because I am the Almighty.
Yes. Yes.
I gave you life, and you will take it back to God.
That's right. That's
yes.
right.
So
you're right. We don't supposed to fear man.
yes.
We don't supposed to wear a mask.
You're right.
We supposed to live a victorious life. That's why God gave me that name, Victorious.
Yes.
And we supposed to do what he say only.
Yes. Man. Yes. Yeah. So everything is good. And so what I was going to ask you, so for therapy, what do you do for yourself personally to make yourself feel so much better and just love yourself? And what do you do for therapy or entertainment or whatever you like to do?
Well, I do have a counselor. I have a therapist. I have to have that. And then I'm a writer. So I write. Or sometimes I just take a moment, go home and take a moment, and I call it woosah. Don't think about nothing as according to the pressure of the day.
Yes.
I put on some funny movies, some comedy where I can laugh, and sometimes I need that just to laugh. I do that often. That's my therapy. Cut my phone off, or sometimes I just worship God.
Beautiful.
Put my music on, my gospel music, and I just worship Him. Though that's the best therapy that you can get.
Yes.
When I stay in my word. Another therapy for me is helping others. Helping others is another therapy because it takes away from me and my issues and my problems.
Yes.
I love to do. I have joy in helping people.
Beautiful.
And making them smile.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. That's great. I really appreciate that, because one of the things that I learned in my life was to be able to volunteer and to help other people and to do things that make you feel good inside, and to be able to live and be able to help other people. That is what I really enjoy doing. I'm always a giver. I want to be able to give. Because I know they always say it's better to give than to receive, but that's not the only reason why I give, because when I give and do things to help others, it really helps my inner being, my inner self, because I was taught to share and to be a giver and to give back. And if you can help someone that's in need, my mom has always said, help, because you will feel so much better knowing that you've been able to help someone else.
Yes.
And so to be able to give back and help, I mean, I really like doing that. I love cooking. I love painting rocks. I just love nature. I like being in the atmosphere out there at the beach or up in the mountains. I just have so many things that I love doing. I just want to be able to teach others how to relax and not be tense. Do some of the things that you want to do. Have a hobby. You know, there's so many things that a person can do, and it doesn't cost that much. It just depends on what your hobby is. But find something that helps you be the better you. And so that's why we're here. We want to help orchestrate things to make people want to continue to live, because I know sometimes people just give up. They commit suicide, and then people want to know what happened. What did I miss? Why didn't I know? Why didn't I see the signs that was coming? So we just need to be more aware. And I know what I'm learning is people usually don't talk to each other. And if they do, they talking about things I can't say that's not important, but they're not really talking about things that they really want to dive into. Because a lot of the problem is people do not trust people.
Yes.
Trust. When you don't trust someone, it's hard to really be heartfelt and talk to this person to let them know what's really on your mind.
Yes.
What you're really going through. People don't do that.
Yes, that's true.
And that's what I'm learning. And that's why I'm like, okay, we need to get to the root of what is going on in this life. Talk about it. Do something about it. You know, that's the first step, is to own it, talk about it, and be willing to let it go. That's the first step. And so, yes.
That is true. I agree. There is a lot of people out here that is struggling with depression that I have actually came across personally. And I sit and I just listen. I don't say nothing. I just listen, because sometimes you need someone just to listen to you so you can get it out of your system.
Yes.
And then when they're done, then I share. But there's more people out here than what you think. Day to day, people are struggling. You just never know. But being that listening ear is so important, that we need. It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. And you might be the one where you can actually encourage them from committing suicide. Or doing something that they would actually hurt themselves. You might be the one.
Yes.
A wise woman told me this. God puts certain people in your life and to get you from point A to point B. So if God gave you the tools, or he gave you the talent, or he gave you the gifts, why not spread it?
Yes.
She told me this, and I listened. I said, you know what, you're right.
Yes.
But sometimes we hold it back.
Yes.
And we don't want to share.
You're right.
Sometimes it could be in conversation.
Yes.
It don't have to be always in money.
Yes.
It can be your time.
Yes.
Whatever you have to give to someone else to make somebody's life more better.
Yes.
Why not do it?
That's right.
And she shared this with me this week. No,
Ooh,
last week.
Last week.
And I listened.
Wow.
I said, "Oh, you dropped a nugget of wisdom."
That's right. Beautiful.
She dropped a nugget of wisdom, and I
Beautiful.
took it, and I said, "Oh my Lord, you're so right." So when someone gives you that nugget of wisdom, what you gonna do with it? I begin to check myself
Yes, ma'am.
and see, do I have a selfish bone in my body?
You're right.
You know, did I do it? Did I enhance someone's life?
Yes.
You know, did I do something to make them feel better?
Yes.
Whatever God give me, I'm supposed to help.
Yes. You're right.
So it's so
Beautiful.
important.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Sonya, Dr. Sonya, and Pastor. We appreciate you, and we're looking forward to learn more on how to become an overcomer and to overcome obstacles, because a lot of times people don't know how to start. They don't know where to start. But you got to be truthful to yourself. We need to own up to things. And that is the only way that we're going to be able to move forward. We got to own up to it, ask for forgiveness, and don't do it again. Don't continue doing the things that you're saying that you're sorry that you're doing it. But if you continue doing it, then what's the point of saying that you're sorry for doing it if you ain't going to change something? So today, we want to thank Sister Sonya, Doctor, Pastor. We appreciate you for spreading the gospel and spreading the information on what people can do to become an overcomer, have faith, believe in God, and just do the right thing by your fellow man. So we just want to thank everyone for tuning in to What is a Little Girl Supposed to Do? And we will talk to you next time.
Yes.
All right. And I'll let Sister Sonya say her goodbyes.
I just want to do the same thing. I want to piggyback with Sister Balinda and what she said. We all can overcome our trials and tribulations, but with the help of Christ. He is the author of overcoming. We can't do it without him.
That's right.
And we are two women that has overcome multiple things, and we still here. And all we just try to do is spread the message of love. It's about God's love. It's not about anything else. And it's about sharing. And you can be healed too.
Yes. Amazing. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.